What's up, everybody? We've got two more matches that have been announced for the East vs. West 16 card. Engin interviews Genadi about his match with Devin, and Alex Kurdecha participates in a fake super match with a slap fighter. We'll get to everything in today's video. So here are the two new matches that have been announced for East vs. West 16. We've got Brad Grundy versus Boto Saganashvili, and Vasily Daltashvili versus Stoyan Golomanov. Alright, the match that I'd like to talk about is Brad Grundy versus Boto Saganashvili. Now, if you're new to arm wrestling, you might not know who Brad Grundy is. You may not even know who Boto Saganashvili is, but you'll probably recognize Boto's last name for a very good reason. But I think Boto has a lot on his hands with this match. Brad Grundy competed at East vs. West 9 quite a while back against Kyle Hutchison, and he won that match, displaying his impeccable technique. He's got a beautiful top roll. The stability of his hand and wrist is really a thing of beauty, something that commentators were going on about, just how good his technique is. And more recently, we've seen him beat Matt Mask in the East vs. West Challenger Series. That was about 5 months ago, and he won very convincingly. He top rolled a top roller, one of the better top rollers, I would say. Now, a lot of people like to discount Matt Mask, saying that he's not elite. And I would agree that he's not in the best of the best, but he is very good. And to top roll Matt Mask is a pretty impressive feat, especially considering that Brad Grundy does not have longer levers than Matt. Matt's got a bigger hand, a longer forearm, and Brad was still able to top roll him, still able to take his hand in round one. So that to me is extremely impressive, and I'm really excited for Brad's career moving forward. But we have to talk about what recently happened with Brad. So Brad actually quit. I believe it was after his match with Matt. He quit arm wrestling, and he said that it had to do with his scoliosis. Just all the rotational force that was being applied to his back was really causing it to flare up, and his doctor basically told him, you have to quit arm wrestling. And recently, he uploaded a video basically saying that he has been miraculously healed by God, and he feels great, he feels fine, he doesn't have pain anymore, and he's back to arm wrestling. So whether it be an act of God or some medical intervention, it would seem to be that Brad Grundy is healed up. He's back to arm wrestling, and he's been posting videos of his training. I think he hit like a 110-pound riser. Pretty impressive stuff. So I am excited for Brad moving forward, and if you are a fan of North American arm wrestling, keep your eye on this guy. He's a really humble guy, and I'm excited to see what he's got for Boto. Now let's talk about Boto. Boto just recently lost 4-0 against Reno Masick for the title. Now, this is not a bad loss. Reno is very good, and I think the determining factor for that match was the angles. Reno just knows how to move around the table. He had superior angles. He was able to use his frame better than Boto. It seemed like he just had better table IQ and much better endurance. By the end of the match, it was comfortably Reno's match to win, and he got it done 4-0. But Boto has really good top-end strength, and those first couple rounds were grinders. Now, long before this match with Reno, Boto faced Adam Warzinski at East vs. West 7, and he crushed Adam. He made Adam look like a child. The match was not even close. Now, I would say that Adam is not at the elite level, but he's very good, and just crushing Adam in a hook, that is very impressive strength. So I would say that both of these guys, Boto and Brad, they are both very explosive. Brad is explosive in the sense that right off the rip, he establishes hand and wrist position. And we saw that in his match against Matt. Immediately after the go, he establishes hand position, and that allows him to win fairly easily. Can he do that against Boto? I don't think it'll be as easy as it was with Matt, but I gotta say, you could call me delusional for this pick, but I think Brad might get this one. I think Brad might win this. This is my dark horse pick for the card. Now, I am a fan of Brad, so this is obviously biased, but I think Brad could get it done. He's got incredible stability in his wrist. He's got really good technique, good table IQ. Boto, not so much, but he's probably stronger than Brad. So I'm going to pick Brad to win this. Obviously, I'm a fan of his, so it's a bit biased. But I think this will be a much closer match than most people are imagining. A lot of people are just saying, oh, Boto wins, no problem. He's invincible. Guys, Boto just lost. I know it's to Reno Masick, but it's not like he's not Levon. You know, he's not just crushing everybody. So, nonetheless, I am very excited for this match, and I hope you are too. All right, next up, we've got Engin interviewing Genadi. Now, there's 2 interviews up on the East vs. West YouTube channel, interviews of Genadi. I would say the first one is kind of a nothing burger, but the second one is pretty good. Engin presses Genadi on a few points, and he just tells him like it is. And we actually get a prediction from Engin about this match. So let's go into some of the things that Genadi said. During this interview, he actually said regarding Devin, I might crack his wrist. Now this, to me, is a little bit delusional. I know Genadi's good, but when it comes to the super heavyweight division, his hand has always been his weakness. And if Devin has any strength at all, it would be his hand. So I think this is just kind of mid-tier trash talk from Genadi. I don't think he actually believes he can take Devin's wrist. And we find out kind of later in the interview that Genadi is very much relying on home court advantage to win this match. Engin kind of presses him, and he actually ends up saying that he believes Devin is the favorite and that the bicep injury is going to be more significant than Genadi's kind of playing it out to be. And the topic of the match being in Georgia comes up, and Genadi basically goes on to say that he will use the power of Opana, he will use the energy that the crowd gives him in his hometown to win the match. And the topic of him being this great warrior in the sport of arm wrestling comes up. We all know Genadi's a warrior, but I don't think relying on the power of Opana is going to get Genadi the win here. So I liked this interview. I thought Engin did a good job of actually pressing Genadi a little bit and telling him how it is. All right, the last topic for today is Alex Kurdecha competing in a fake super match with a slap fighter. Now, this is on the Global Elite Arm Wrestling channel, and they hosted an event where they invited Alex Kurdecha and a slap fighter to be the main event. And you can just see from the video that this match is completely fake. It's a 5-round super match, and it goes, 2-2, goes to the last round, and then Alex gets the win. Now, this is obviously to attract some slap fight fans to arm wrestling, and having Alex there, obviously a big name, it's going to draw people to the event. I don't really have a problem with this match. I'm more so curious, does anybody find this entertaining? Who wants this? Is this enjoyable to anybody? Would you be happy if you paid to go to an event to see a big name arm wrestler and the main event is just fake? I know that I wouldn't be. I'm curious as to what purpose these fake matches serve. If you have an answer for me, I'd love to hear it, because It seems like whenever there is a staged match, I believe Vitaly Laletin had one maybe a year or two ago, and you go to the comment section under these videos, and it is just flooded with negative comments. Nobody likes these matches. No one wants fake matches. I don't know that I found a single comment that was positive. So I'm honestly confused about why this keeps happening. And a lot of people are saying, oh, I just lost all my respect for Alex Kurdecha. And I don't feel that way. I don't respect Alex Kurdecha any less. He was just, he was invited to come and do and perform, and that's what he did. And I hope he got paid for it, paid well for it. But as an audience member, is this really what we want? I mean, don't we want to see high-level arm wrestling? We don't want this sport to become dramatized like the WWE. At least I don't. I have no problem with theatrics before and after the match. But to have the actual match itself be just completely fake, I kind of find off-putting. So, let me know what you think of this. Have you lost all of your respect for Alex Kurdecha? Do you think it's good to bring the slap fighters into the sport? And what are your opinions on how to promote the sport properly? I don't think fake matches is the way to go. Alright guys, that's all I have for today. Thank you so much for watching, and have a happy new year. Bye.